Hello everyone, and welcome to Fluent English Journey. This is the channel where we help you improve your English listening and speaking skills while learning something useful and interesting for your life. I am so happy that you're here with me today. Maybe you're at home, on the bus, walking outside, or just relaxing. Wherever you are, thank you for spending this time with me. Together, we will explore new ideas and practice English in a fun and simple way. Today, we are going to talk about a very important topic: why taking risks is important in life. Yes, you heard that right. We will talk about risks and why they matter for you, for me, and for everyone. Now, when you hear the word risk, you might think it is scary or dangerous. You might think it is something you should avoid. And sometimes, yes, it is. But in many cases, taking risks can help you grow, improve, and achieve your dreams. That is what we will focus on today. The reason we are talking about this topic is simple. Many people feel stuck in life. They want to try something new. They want to learn a new skill. They want to make a change. But they stop themselves. Why? Because they are afraid. Afraid of failing. Afraid people will laugh at them. Afraid of making a mistake. I understand this because I have felt it too. But here is an important truth. If you never take risks, you also never open the door to success, growth, and new experiences. In this episode, I want to explain clearly what taking a risk really means. We will also talk about why people are afraid of risks, why taking risks is important if you want to live a full and exciting life, easy examples of risks that you can connect to your own life, small steps you can take to start facing your fears and trying new things, even if you feel scared. By the end of this episode, I promise that you will understand why risks are not always bad. In fact, risks are often the key to reaching your goals. You will also feel motivated to try one small risk in your own life. It can be something simple like speaking English with someone new, trying a new activity, sharing your ideas at work or school. Remember, at Fluent English Journey, we believe that learning English is not just about words. It is also about growing your confidence, courage, and your life. So, are you ready? Let's take this journey together. Let's explore why taking risks is important in life. Stay with me and let's begin. What does taking a risk mean? Let's start with a simple question. What does it mean to take a risk? Many people think risk is always dangerous or bad. But this is not true. A risk simply means doing something where you don't know the result. It means doing something where there is a chance things might not go the way you want. But there is also a chance things might go even better than you expect. Here are some examples. Imagine you try a new food you have never eaten before. You don't know if you will like it. Maybe it tastes strange. Or maybe you love it and it becomes your favorite. That is a small risk. Or think about meeting a new person and speaking in English. You don't know if they will understand you. You don't know if you will make mistakes. But you take the risk. Maybe the conversation goes really well and you feel happy and proud. There are small risks like these in daily life. And there are bigger risks too. Changing your job is a big risk. You leave something you know and try something new that you don't know. Moving to a new city or country is another big risk. You leave your home, your family, and your friends. You go to a new place and start again. With big risks, there is often a chance for big rewards. You can learn new things, grow as a person, and find success you never thought was possible. Let's look at another example, this time about learning English. Maybe you want to join a class or speak up in a group, but you feel nervous. You are not sure if your English is good enough. You might worry that people will laugh at you or that you will make mistakes. But here is the important part. If you never take the risk to try, you will never know how much you can improve. Every time you speak English, every time you practice, you are taking a small risk. But this small risk can lead to big improvements. Over time, you will become more confident and better at English. Why do some people avoid risks? This is an important question. The answer is simple: fear. Fear is a strong feeling that stops many people from trying new things. Let's look at the main types of fear. Fear of failure. Many people are afraid to fail. They think, what if I fail? What if I don't succeed? What if I look stupid? These thoughts are normal. But if you let them control you, they can keep you stuck in the same place for a long time. Fear of change. Change can feel uncomfortable because it takes you away from what you know. Even if you are not happy where you are, you might feel safer staying the same because it is familiar. For example, maybe you don't like your job, but you stay because you know it well. You are afraid that leaving will make things worse. Maybe you dream of moving to a new city or country, but you're afraid of starting over. Fear of change keeps many people stuck, even when they want something better. But here is something important to remember. Change is the only way to grow. Fear of judgment. Some people worry about what others will think if they try something new and fail. Maybe you want to speak English in a group meeting, but you're afraid people will laugh. Maybe you want to try a new hobby, but you're afraid friends or family will judge you. The truth is, most people are too busy with their own lives to judge you. And the people who really care about you will support you, even if you make mistakes. Taking risks is about opportunities. So, what does taking a risk really mean? It can be something small, like trying a new food or speaking English with someone new. It can be something big, like moving to a new country or changing your career. People often avoid risks because they are afraid of failing, afraid of change, or afraid of what others will think. But when we understand this, we can see risks in a new way. Instead of avoiding risks, we can see them as opportunities to grow, learn, experience something new. Even small risks, like speaking English with a new person, can make you stronger and more confident over time. Fear is normal. Now let's talk more about fear, because fear is one of the biggest reasons people avoid risks. Fear of failure. Failure happens when something doesn't go the way you want. Maybe you apply for a new job and don't get it. Maybe you speak English and someone doesn't understand. Maybe a small project doesn't succeed. These things can feel disappointing or embarrassing. Some people think, if I don't try, I won't fail. But here is the truth. Failure is part of learning. Every successful person has failed many times. Think about a child learning to walk. They fall many times, but they get up and try again. That's how they learn to walk. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of the road to success. Fear of change. Change is stepping into the unknown. It can feel scary, but it is the only way to grow. Even if your current situation is not perfect, staying the same can feel safe. But stepping into something new opens the door to learning, experiences, and happiness. Fear of judgment. Many people worry about what others will think. Maybe you want to speak English in a group, but fear making a mistake. Maybe you want to try something new, but worry others will laugh. Remember, most people are focused on their own lives, and the people who care about you will support your efforts. Small risks make a big difference. Even small risks can make a big difference over time. Think about the small risks you have taken recently. Speaking up in a meeting, trying something new, practicing English with someone. How did you feel before and after? You will notice that even small risks make you stronger, more confident, and ready for bigger challenges. At Fluent English Journey, we believe that learning a language is not just about grammar or vocabulary. It is also about building courage, one small risk at a time. Maybe you want to share your art or music online, but you feel scared. You worry that people might say negative things. Maybe you want to start your own business, but you worry that your family or friends will not support you. These thoughts can feel heavy, and they often stop people from trying new things. But here's the good news. Most people are not thinking about you as much as you think. Everyone is busy with their own problems and worries. And the people who really care about you, your true friends and family, will support you even if you make mistakes. Real-life examples. Let's look at some simple examples to make this clearer. Imagine a student named Sarah. She wants to improve her English. She has the chance to join an online speaking club, but she feels nervous. She thinks, what if I can't understand them? What if they laugh at my accent? What if I make a mistake? These are normal fears. But if Sarah only listens to her fear, she will never join and she will miss a great chance to improve. Now imagine John. He has worked in the same job for 10 years. He is unhappy, but he is afraid to apply for a new job. He worries about rejection or change. So he stays where he is, even though he wants something better. These examples show how fear can hold people back, even when they have the chance to grow. Fear is normal, but you can manage it. The good news is that fear does not have to control you. When you understand your fear, you can start to manage it. You can remind yourself that failure is a teacher. Change is part of life. Most people are too busy to judge you. You can also take small steps, little by little, to face your fears and build your confidence. You don't need to take a big risk right away. Start small. With each step, you will feel stronger and braver. Reflect on your fears. Take a moment to think. What are you afraid of? What small or big risk have you been avoiding because of fear? What is one small step you could take to face that fear? Remember, on this journey, we are not just learning English. We are also learning to believe in ourselves. Why taking risks is important. Now let's talk about something very exciting. Why taking risks is so important in life. When we take risks, we open the door to personal growth, new opportunities, real success. 1. Risks help you grow. When you take a risk, you challenge yourself. You step outside your comfort zone, the place where you feel safe but where not much change happens. Imagine you always do the same things. Same job, same activities, same people. After a while, you stop learning new things and your life can feel small and limited. But when you take a risk, like trying a new project, speaking a new language, or traveling to a new place, you push yourself to grow. You learn new skills, discover new ideas, and become stronger and more confident. Even if things don't work out perfectly, you still learn something valuable about yourself. You become more open-minded and ready for the next challenge. 2. Risks create opportunities. When you take a risk, you allow new opportunities to enter your life. For example, if you apply for a job that seems difficult, you might get it. Or even if you don't, you might meet someone who gives you an even better opportunity. If you join an English conversation group, you might make a new friend who helps you practice more. Life is full of hidden opportunities, but you can only find them if you are brave enough to take a risk. If you always play it safe, you might miss doors that could lead to exciting new paths. 3. Risks build confidence. Taking risks also helps you build confidence and inner strength. Every time you take a risk, no matter how small, you prove to yourself that you are capable. For example, imagine you decide to give a short talk in English at work. You feel nervous, but you prepare and do it. Even if you make a few mistakes, you feel proud afterward because you faced your fear. That small success builds confidence. Next time, you will feel a little stronger and braver. Over time, these small steps lead to big growth. These small moments of courage make you a much more confident person. Taking risks also helps you learn from failure. Many people think that failure is something bad, but actually, failure is one of the best teachers in life. When you take a risk and fail, you learn what doesn't work. You understand what you need to improve. For example, imagine you take an English exam and don't pass. At first, it feels disappointing, but now you know your weak points and you can work on them. Without that risk, you wouldn't know how to get better. Many successful people in business, sports, art, or science failed many times before they succeeded. What made them special was not that they avoided failure, but that they kept learning and trying again. Risks can lead to success. Taking risks can also bring success and achievements. Without risk, there is often no reward. Think about famous inventors, athletes, or artists. They had to take big risks to reach their goals. They risked their time, energy, and sometimes money. But because they were brave, they were able to create something new, reach their dreams, and achieve great things. In your life, success may not mean becoming famous. It could mean learning a language, starting a business, moving to a new place, making a difference in your community. Whatever success means to you, it almost always starts with the courage to take a risk. Taking smart risks. Taking risks is not about jumping into something crazy or dangerous. It's about carefully stepping out of your comfort zone, trying new things, opening yourself to growth, learning, and success. It's okay to feel fear, everyone does. But when you take small, smart risks, you make your life bigger, richer, and more exciting. How to start taking small risks. So, how can you start? You may feel not ready for big risks, and that's okay. You don't have to start big. The best way is to take small, safe risks. Small risks can make a big difference over time. You don't need to quit your job or move to a new country tomorrow. You can start with simple steps that challenge you just a little. Examples of small risks. If you are learning English, join an online conversation group or speak to a stranger in English at a cafe. At work, share your opinion in a meeting or help with a project you usually avoid. For health, try a new sport or go to a fitness class where you don't know anyone. For social life, join a club or event where you can meet new people. Even if it feels a little scary, it is okay. Every small risk you take helps you practice stepping outside your comfort zone. Handling fear. Fear is normal. Everyone feels it, even people who seem confident. Fear is just your brain trying to protect you from something new or unknown. The good news is, you don't need to wait for fear to go away before acting. You can feel afraid and take action at the same time. Helpful tips to handle fear. Break the risk into smaller parts. If you are scared of speaking in public, don't start with a big speech. Start by talking to 1 or 2 people or asking a question in class. If you are scared of a new job, start by updating your resume or talking to someone in that field. Prepare yourself well. Fear often comes from feeling unprepared. If you prepare, the risk feels less scary and you feel more confident. Over time, these small steps help you grow braver, stronger, and more confident. Every time you take a small risk, you prove to yourself that you are capable. Prepare before taking a risk. If you are going to take a risk, it's important to do your homework first. If you want to try something new, learn about it before you start. If you want to take a chance at work, make sure you understand the task or project. Preparation doesn't remove all fear, but it helps you feel more confident and ready. Also, remember that mistakes are part of learning. Many people avoid risks because they are afraid of failing. But as we talked about earlier, failure is not the enemy. It is a teacher. Every time you take a small risk, you get a little stronger. If you try speaking English and make a mistake, you learn something new. If you try a new project and it doesn't work, you gain experience. Instead of thinking, what if I fail? Try thinking, what can I learn from this? Finally, celebrate your small wins. Every time you take a small risk, give yourself credit. Maybe you spoke up in a meeting. Maybe you joined a new class. Maybe you shared an idea with someone. Take a moment to say, good job. These small celebrations build your confidence and make it easier to keep taking risks in the future. Start small, step by step. Remember, you don't have to wait for the perfect moment. You also don't need to take huge leaps right away. You can start small, take little steps, and slowly build your courage. Here on Fluent English Journey, we believe that every learner, including you, has the power to grow, change, and achieve great things one small risk at a time. What happens when you don't take risks? Now, let's stop and think about something important. What happens when you don't take risks? This question helps us understand why staying too safe can hold you back in life. You miss opportunities. If you don't take risks, you may miss many chances to grow or improve. For example, imagine you want to improve your English, but you are too afraid to practice with others. You study alone, but you never join a class or speak in real conversations. What happens? You miss the chance to improve faster. You miss meeting new people, learning from mistakes, and building confidence. Life gives us many doors to open, but if we don't take the risk to walk through them, we miss what's on the other side. Opportunities don't wait forever. They may come only once. You feel stuck. Avoiding risks can make you feel stuck in the same place for a long time. Think about life like a road. Each step you take moves you forward. But if you are too scared to try new things, you stay in one spot. Maybe you stay in a job you don't enjoy. Maybe you stay quiet when you want to speak up. Maybe you keep dreaming but never take action. Over time, this can make you feel frustrated and unhappy. You may wonder, why is nothing changing? The truth is, change comes when you are willing to take a risk and try something new. Without that step, you can end up walking in circles, going nowhere. You limit your personal growth. When you don't take risks, you limit your growth. Growth happens when we challenge ourselves. If we stay too safe, we never learn new skills, discover new ideas, or become stronger and more confident. What happens if you always play it safe? If you always do what feels safe and easy, you stay at the same level. You don't push your skills, you don't test your strength, and you don't discover what you are really capable of. For example, if you never risk making mistakes when speaking English, you never learn from corrections. If you never try something difficult, you never discover how strong or smart you really are. Growth is like a muscle. It only gets stronger when you use it. Without risks, you don't give yourself the chance to grow. Regret from avoiding risks. Many people who avoid risks later feel regret. They realize they didn't live the life they wanted. They think, I wish I had tried that. I wonder what would have happened if I had taken that chance. Regret is heavy, and it usually comes not from the things we tried and failed at, but from the things we were too afraid to try at all. Of course, this doesn't mean you should take every risk without thinking. It's smart to be careful and thoughtful. But if you always let fear control you, you close the door to many beautiful opportunities. You miss the chance to build new skills, meet new people, find new paths, discover your own hidden talents, reflect on your life. As you listen to this, think about your own life. Are there small or big risks you've been avoiding? Are there dreams or goals waiting for you to take a step forward? Remember, staying safe may feel comfortable, but it also keeps you small. When you learn to take smart, thoughtful risks, you open the door to a bigger, richer, and more exciting life. Real-life examples of taking risks. We've talked about what risk means, why people fear it, and why it is important for growth. But what does taking a risk actually look like in real life? Let's look at some examples. 1. A student learning a new language. Imagine you decide to learn English. At first, it feels exciting but scary. You worry about making mistakes, saying the wrong word, not understanding people. But you take the risk anyway. You join an English class, practice with people online, and speak even when nervous. Sometimes people correct you or you feel shy. But over time, you learn more words. You speak more fluently. You become proud of yourself. If you never took that first risk to open your mouth and try, you would never reach that level of confidence and ability. 2. Changing jobs. Imagine you have a safe job, but you don't feel happy or challenged. You dream of working in a new field, maybe something you are passionate about, like design or teaching. Changing jobs feels risky. What if the new job is too hard? What if you fail? What if you lose the security you had before? These are normal fears. But people who take the risk of changing jobs often grow a lot. They learn new skills, meet new people, find more satisfaction in their work. Even if the first try is not perfect, they gain experience and open the door to better opportunities in the future. 3. Starting a small business or project. Imagine you have an idea to open a small cafe, start an online shop, launch a creative project like writing a blog. Taking the first step feels very risky. You may worry about losing money, wasting time, failing in front of others. Many successful people started this way, with a small risk. They planned carefully, worked hard, learned from mistakes. Even if the first business or project fails, they gain valuable experience that helps them succeed next time. Without that first risk, they would never know what they are capable of. 4. Speaking up in front of people. Speaking up may feel like a small risk, but it can be very scary. Maybe you are in a meeting at work or a class at school. You have an idea or a question, but you feel nervous. What if people laugh? What if you say something wrong? When you take the risk and speak up, you show courage. You share your thoughts, help move the conversation forward, and grow your confidence. The more you practice this, the easier it becomes. Small risks lead to growth. Over time, when you take small risks again and again, you become someone who can speak clearly, lead discussions, inspire others. These real-life examples show us that risks are not always huge or dramatic. Sometimes, they're small everyday choices that help us grow and improve. Whether you are learning a language, changing jobs, starting a project, speaking up in a group, you are taking a step toward a bigger, more exciting life. The goal is not to be reckless, but to take smart, thoughtful risks that help you move forward. Here on Fluent English Journey, we are not just talking, we are growing and becoming the best version of ourselves. Final thoughts and motivation. I'm so proud of you for staying with me until now. We've talked a lot about taking risks, what it means, why people fear it, why it's important, what happens when you don't take risks. Now, let's finish with some final thoughts and motivation to help you use these ideas in your life. Reflect on your life. Take a moment and think about your journey. Where are you right now? Are you playing it safe in some areas? Are there dreams or goals you've been avoiding because of fear? Maybe you've been waiting for the perfect time or telling yourself, I'm not ready yet. Here's the truth. There is no perfect time. You may never feel 100% ready. And that's okay. Growth begins the moment you take a small step outside your comfort zone. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, what small risk can I take to move forward? Failure is part of the journey. It's okay to fail. Yes, failure is not the end. It's just part of the journey. Many successful people failed many times before they succeeded. Think of failure as a teacher, not an enemy. Every time you fall or make a mistake, you learn something new and grow stronger and wiser. So don't be afraid of falling. Be afraid of never trying. No one becomes great at anything without a few failures along the way. You are allowed to stumble. You are allowed to try again. You are stronger than you think. Here's a positive message to carry in your heart today. You are stronger than you think. You have more strength, courage, and ability inside you than you realize. Sometimes we forget this because we focus on our fears and weaknesses. But if you take even one small risk and succeed, or even just learn from it, you will start to see how capable you really are. Every little success, every small step forward, builds confidence and shows you that you can handle challenges. Your call to action. This week, I want you to try one small risk. Just one. It doesn't have to be big or scary. It can be simple, but meaningful. Join an English conversation group. Raise your hand in class or at work to share your opinion. Apply for a job you've been thinking about. Start a new hobby. Reach out to someone you've been too shy to talk to. Give yourself permission to try. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to succeed right away. You just have to be willing to take that first step. Life is an adventure. Remember, life is an adventure. It's full of challenges, surprises, opportunities. To live fully, you must be willing to take risks, face your fears, believe in your own strength. You don't have to do it all at once. Start small, keep practicing, keep learning, and keep moving forward. Here on Fluent English Journey, we are learning, growing, and improving together. I believe in you, and I know you have what it takes to move forward, even when it feels scary. Start today. Take a small risk. Keep going. Your future self will thank you. You are on your way. You are already on your way to becoming the best version of yourself. Thank you so much, my friend, for staying with me until the very end of today's episode on Fluent English Journey. I truly appreciate you spending your time with me, listening carefully, learning together. It means a lot that you chose to be here. I hope today's topic about taking risks was helpful, inspiring, easy to understand. You are not alone. Remember, you are not alone on this journey. I am here to support you, and so is the whole Fluent English Journey community. I want to invite you to listen again to this episode whenever you need motivation. A little reminder that you are stronger than you think. Sometimes, when we hear something a second or third time, we understand it even better. So, don't be shy about coming back and practicing your listening skills with this episode or any other episodes we have here on the podcast. The more you listen, the more your English will improve. Share and grow together. If you enjoyed today's episode, I would be so happy if you could share it with a friend who is also learning English. Maybe they need a little motivation too. You can also like or subscribe to this podcast so you don't miss any future episodes. When you subscribe, you become part of our growing learning family, and you help support the podcast so I can keep bringing you useful and fun topics every week. Keep going. Thank you again for being here, listening, working hard on your English journey. I believe in you, and I can't wait to talk to you again next time. Until then, take care. Keep learning. Remember, you are doing great. See you soon on Fluent English Journey.